What if the quietest Trump suddenly became the most influential? Barron Trump, the youngest member of one of the most talked-about families in modern history, is no longer just the child we saw in the shadows of the spotlight. He's stepping into a new chapter, one filled with unexpected challenges, potential power moves, and a level of attention unlike anything he's faced before. But here's the twist: Barron isn't following the predictable Trump family playbook. From his college life under the scrutiny of Secret Service protection to whispers about his role in shaping strategies for his father's presidential campaign, Barron is carving out his own, surprising path. Stay with us, because by the end of this video, we'll reveal one critical decision Barron may face that could change everything for him and the Trump legacy. And trust me, it's not what you think. If you think you've got Barron figured out, think again. Let's break down what's next for the most mysterious member of the Trump family. Barron Trump's life has been anything but ordinary. When his father, Donald Trump, became president in 2016, Barron was just 10 years old. While his siblings were making headlines as key figures in Trump's political orbit, Barron stayed largely out of the public eye, shielded by his mother, Melania. During his father's first term, we only caught rare glimpses of him walking alongside Melania on the White House lawn or standing quietly at high-profile events. Even then, his height and composed demeanor sparked intrigue. As the years went by, Barron's public appearances became even more sporadic, fueling speculation about his private life. Now at 18, Barron is no longer a child in the background. He's a young adult with more autonomy, navigating the dual pressures of being a college student and the youngest member of one of America's most scrutinized families. But here's what most people don't know: while Barron stayed away from the spotlight, his influence within the family was growing. In the next section, we'll reveal how Barron has quietly become a key voice in his father's political strategies, proof that sometimes silence holds the most power. Keep watching to uncover what's happening behind the scenes and why it's reshaping perceptions of Barron Trump entirely. Barron Trump has stepped into adulthood in a way that's both ordinary and extraordinary. As a student at New York University, he's trying to live the life of a typical college freshman, attending classes, navigating friendships, and adjusting to independence. But for Barron, even the most mundane experiences come with layers of complexity. Imagine going to class, but instead of blending in with your peers, you're escorted by Secret Service agents. Every lecture, every group project, every casual lunch on campus becomes a security operation. Some classmates have even shared how intimidating it can feel to pass through security checks just to sit in the same room as him. For Barron, this kind of attention is both a blessing and a burden, keeping him safe but setting him apart. There's also the question of privacy. Social media posts about Barron have been known to go viral within hours, often sparking debates and wild speculation. Balancing this level of scrutiny with academic life isn't just challenging, it's uncharted territory. Yet Barron seems determined to carve out a sense of normalcy, staying focused on his studies and trying to maintain as low a profile as possible. But here's the thing: whispers are growing that he may not stay at NU for long. Could his father's second presidency pull him closer to Washington, D.C., perhaps even to a college like Georgetown? Or will Barron resist and continue to forge his own path in New York? In the next section, we'll explore how Barron's influence within the Trump family has quietly emerged, shaping decisions in ways few ever expected. Stick around, because this is where things start to get even more intriguing. While Barron Trump is often seen as the quiet observer in a family of bold personalities, insiders say his influence is growing in unexpected ways. During his father's campaign for re-election, Barron reportedly played a subtle, yet significant role behind the scenes. Sources close to the family hint that his perspective, particularly on younger voters, may have shaped parts of the campaign's messaging. At 18, Barron has the advantage of understanding the younger generation better than his siblings. In a world where social media dominates, his input may have been crucial in targeting platforms like Instagram and TikTok Spaces, where traditional political outreach often falls flat. Barron's grasp of what resonates with his peers could be the edge that the Trump campaign needed to connect with first-time voters. And it's not just campaign strategies where his voice is heard. Those close to the family have noted that Barron's measured demeanor and thoughtful approach have earned him respect within the inner circle. Unlike the louder, more combative styles of other family members, Barron's quiet influence makes him a trusted confidant. But here's the million-dollar question: will Barron step out of the shadows and take on a more visible role during his father's second term? Or will he remain behind the scenes, quietly steering the course of the Trump legacy? In the next section, we'll examine the tough decisions Barron may face as his father returns to the White House and how these choices could redefine his future forever. Barron Trump's next steps are as uncertain as they are fascinating. As his father prepares to lead the country for a second term, Barron faces a unique crossroads. Will he remain in New York, pursuing his college education and a relatively private life? Or will the pull of the White House bring him back into the center of political and public attention? There's speculation that Barron could transfer to a university closer to Washington, D.C., allowing him to be closer to his family during this critical time. Schools like Georgetown, known for its ties to politics, could offer him new opportunities to grow while maintaining a connection to his father's presidency. On the other hand, Barron's desire for independence may keep him in New York. He's already shown he's willing to break with family traditions by choosing NU over the University of Pennsylvania, where many Trump studied. Could this determination to chart his own course signal a future entirely separate from politics? And then there's the question of visibility. Some believe Barron may take on a more public role as first son, stepping into the spotlight to represent his family in a way he's never done before. Others argue he'll stay true to his quieter approach, influencing events behind the scenes while avoiding unnecessary attention. The decision is his. But one thing is clear: whatever Barron chooses will have ripple effects not just for his own life, but for how the Trump family is perceived moving forward. In the next section, we'll reveal one possible scenario that could change everything for Barron, and it's one no one saw coming. One decision looms over Barron Trump that could redefine not just his own future, but his family's legacy as well. As whispers grow about Barron potentially leaving NU to join his father in Washington, the move isn't just about location. It's about stepping into a role that carries immense pressure and responsibility. Moving closer to the White House would place Barron directly under the public eye. He could take on the unofficial role of representing his father's presidency to a younger generation, becoming a bridge between the traditional Trump base and a demographic that values modern, relatable voices. However, such a step comes with risks: intense media scrutiny, relentless speculation, and the challenge of maintaining a sense of individuality in a politically charged environment. Staying in New York, however, allows Barron to continue shaping his own identity, away from the shadow of his father's presidency. It's a chance to prioritize his education, focus on his passions, and decide whether or not the Trump legacy is something he wants to be directly tied to in the future. But here's the catch: Barron's decision may not just affect him. It could influence how Melania Trump navigates her own role, potentially splitting her time between New York and Washington once again. It could also affect the Trump family dynamic, shaping public perceptions for years to come. In the final section, we'll wrap up with a thought-provoking question about Barron's potential impact and the unexpected ways his decisions could shape history. Don't miss the ending, where we'll leave you with a challenge that puts you in Barron's shoes. Barron Trump stands at a pivotal moment, one that could redefine not just his future but his role in the broader Trump legacy. Whether he chooses to stay in New York, step closer to the White House, or forge an entirely new path, his decisions carry weight far beyond his age. As the youngest member of this prominent family, Barron's next moves have the power to shape perceptions of the Trump dynasty for years to come. Now, here's something to think about. If you were in Barron's shoes, balancing family expectations, public scrutiny, and personal ambitions, what choice would you make? Would you embrace the spotlight, or would you prioritize your independence? Share your thoughts in the comments below, but here's a challenge. Imagine Barron watching this video and seeing your advice. What would you say to him? Drop your most insightful and creative responses. One of them might just stand out to the world. And if this story has you intrigued about the decisions shaping today's biggest public figures, don't forget to follow this channel for more thought-provoking breakdowns. Every decision has a story. Let's keep uncovering them together.